in 5 seasons has 22 career Jinx games.
Okay.
He has won 77.3% of the time on this champion. This guy knows how to play hyper carries. It is one of his best champions of all time. Only really eclipsed in like significant games by his Aphelios.
Of course.
Absolutely. You know, that's a whole nother story. We don't talk about that. But you know what? You know what we do talk about is PSG Talon, is J-Team. This is a classic rivalry here in the PCS. And we will see another chapter get written here today to close out week 2 of the summer split. This is gonna be good as they come to clash. Let's start ourselves off, and there is so much to talk about. This top lane, not the least among it, Hanabi on the Kayle for the first time.
We finally get a Kayle from one of these winning teams. Right? Because
Kayle has
so
a horrible
far,
win rate in the PCS.
I think Kayle has been winless. Do a quick check on that here. Kayle is indeed 0-4.
Oh boy.
So Kayle has not been great. But it's been picked by a lot of our lower ranked teams. So I feel like it's almost kind of par for the course. And the win rate is a little bit deceptive because those teams are looking for wins any way, shape, or form. And banking on level 16 Kayle can be a way to do it. However, at the same time, we've seen in LPL, the better teams, when they get their hands onto Kayle, they can just end the game really early because the Kayle gets online, and then there's just no way back to save the game on the other side because you're dealing with a Kayle that's ahead and ready to hit 16 faster than you can even touch 16.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep our eyes on it, and I think J-Team may have made a miscalculation in giving over the top side counter pick despite being on red side themselves. Instead, they opted to save their jungle for last, and I could very well punish them as we are underway here. J-Team undefeated, the only team in the PCS currently to not have a loss. But it is worth noting that they came very close at the hands of Frank Esports.
The interesting thing here for this this game is usually you would say, hey, they only pick one tank. It shouldn't be a big problem for J-Team or for PSG or for J-Team to just itemize full to just outpower them because they've got so much sustain. PSG have plenty of damage, and for J-Team we'll see, or we'll see if PSG and Kaiwing, given that there is 3 magic damage champions, if he's able to itemize properly, because we saw in the DCG CFO game, Koala opted for just health stacking, which is not really effective. You want to just get resistances when you're dealing with it, or if you're going for Warmogs, at least give yourself an opportunity to reset. Driver, though, against the Kayle pick, we'll see how well he does in the lane phase, because in this matchup, it's really all about trying to deny Kayle as much CS, because it's hard to just kill.
Uh-oh.
But this is surprising.
That's a flash. Oh, he flashes and he doesn't
big
quite
heal.
Kill. Tanks a tower shot. That
And
actually
they turn.
does change things. But Kaiwing looking for the block. Lil V on top.
No damage.
And the cork is popped. Oh, man.
Everyone's
so
low.
close. This is so close. Nobody is giving any quarter here. Well before the junglers get involved.
Kaiwing does get a healthy chunk of the heal. But
Stomp catch.
with J-Team, they both have heals. Both the Seta and the Seraph. So
That was 3 summoners burned on either side.
Enzo's the best one off of this situation because he has teleport. So if he really wanted to, which he should have just recalled and teleported back. And then he has item advantage, able to fast crash this wave as well. He will go ahead and be able to crash the wave. And Unified, he's going to be walking back. And I don't think it actually stops right in front of the tower. So thankfully, he's not actually going to miss a whole lot.
Yeah, nicely done. And I think Kaiwing helped set that one up too. Keep an eye on the mid lane. I mean, we were gonna get ready to just make this mid lane the featured matchup, right? But then it's like, oh well, there's kill threat in top, there's kill threat in bot. We don't even know where to look. We need one of those fancy, like, 3-split graphics. Like they got over in the LCS.
Yeah. I think LCS has it. LCK,
I think the LCK
I think, has it as well.
It's a cool view. Gotta admit.
Yeah.
They're always finding some new surprises every season for League of Legends. But another thing we have to talk about is Konge on this Vi, because he has brought out a lot of interesting jungle champions. As you mentioned in Pick Fan, we've already seen the Kiana, but now we get to see a champion that has a great single target lockdown. However, there is denial. There is the Tahm Kench. What do you expect Konge to be able to do on this Vi?
Vi is definitely a very curious pick. And it does offer a lot of pick potential in lane, where you just kind of jump in onto the Zir or the Kale early on, or find a gank in that bot lane before Kaiwing hits level 6. That's certainly going to be really nice. It's just the issue is afterwards, right? Where you're trying to ult in a 5v5 and it's just easily denied with the Tahm Kench. So all his impact has got to be during this lane phase and snowballing one of these lanes ahead for him. Perhaps setting up an easy dive attempt top side for the Gwen would be an ideal situation.
Okay, we'll have to keep an eye on it, as we are starting to see level 6s dinged by at least the mid laners, top as well, but not quite out of the jungle just yet. Taking a look across the board, too, it's a very close game. Unified does manage to get the CS lead up over Enzo, and it continues to be quiet, not for lack of trying, I have to say. Very, very close game, slim gold advantage to PSG, but J-Team do have that Infernal Dragon that they were able to pick up off of the priority advantage.
So I would say for the side of J-Team, they have scaling advantage until the late game, the very late game, because then at that point, Unified, Gory, and Hanabi are just going to shred through everyone. But until then, this is a very oppressive composition from J-Team, because there's so much sustain. And there's plenty of sustained damage as well, right? You have Swain, you have Gwen, they do plenty of damage, you have Ascendant to deal with. Okay, flash forward, okay.
Kaiwing trying to deny, but unfortunately for him, that's level 6 with the cease and desist. Is that Vi from Arcane?
Yeah, that was definitely some revenge track against the sister right there.
All right, no flash on Unified. Critical, that was punished quite well, and J-Team draw first blood.
And it's in the bot lane before the Tahm Kench hits level 6. Clear outline, clear path of attack.
It's just a lane
they
game.
just pull
this
it
is
off.
Good.
Yeah, exactly what Vi can do at this point in the game, right? She has flash, she has a big gap closer in her Q, and then she ults. It's just a lot of distance covered by that champion.
Nicely done. Trying to deny Unified, and again, buy yourself even more time in this game. As you mentioned, that the scaling works really well for J-Team for the vast majority of the game. So, not to see if they can continue it here, and always keep an eye. We have to keep one eye on every single lane, and I'm running out of eyes, Nightstar.
That's going to help out in this bottom lane considerably. Slows down some of the farm coming in from the Jinx, slows down the Jinx early power, which is, it's the early portion of the mid game is going to be Gory focused. A little bit after that's going to be Unified on the Jinx once he gets to 2 and 3 items, and then after that at 5 items, that's when you're looking at Kale. So at each point of the game, there's going to be a PSG carry that's going to be the main focal point over the other 2 damage dealers. But for J-Team,
it's like playing one of those JRPGs that just, the main characters cycle through the story, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. J-Team, it's all about this front line, though. And pairing it up with the back line.
So getting the Rift Herald does mean if they decide to make a repeat play somewhere on the map, they will be able to set themselves up for a really good transition push. Keep an eye on that Dragon timer. Ocean is going to be coming up in about a minute. PSG are looking to try and set up some plays themselves down on the bottom side here. I think they might have been going for a dive, but nobody was at home.
Yep. Enzo understands it. This is our difference
look
between
at
our
this.
top teams, right? But Lil V, oh wow, okay,
That's a value
thought
ward
for
right
sure
there.
he was going to get caught.
They actually catch Gory. Look at the damage,
turned
already
fire.
down to about half HP, and oh, denied. That's what Kai wants
Tom
to do.
catch.
At level 6, as Kongye just gets shuffled into oblivion, they will be able to open up
Uniboy.
hostilities. Meanwhile, Uniboy looking for a target as he finds Gory isolated for the pack. They will be able to turn that around, a 1-for-1 trade in the extended.
And the fight just plays out exactly what both teams want, right? Gory gets eaten up by the Tom Kenshin deny that Vi cooldown, which is exactly what makes this Vi pick not great. But he found the one timing early on, which almost pays off the purpose of his Vi pick. And then right afterwards, PSG, they turn the fight, they get that kill, but it turns on its head once the remaining members come over, namely the heal supports or heal and shield enchanters for Uniboy on the swing.
Yeah, yep. Full denial. He's just in the middle of the air. Kaiwings follows him up. They take down Kongye, but yeah, I mean, once you're kind of out of steam, it's really good target selection there for Lil V, Uniboy, and Enzo, and they just take out Gory. The gold does fall into the center, so Lil V's grabbing both for the team. I think they would have liked that on Uniboy a little more, but still. Back to the action we go. Driver, 2-level advantage on Hanabi. Excuse me, no, they're both level 9. What am I talking about? And it's an even trade.
Woo. 2-level advantage would have been
Scissors
nuts.
ties Angel. Yeah, I thought I saw 7, and I'm like, nope, it's just really early.
Yeah. Scissors clipping the wings of the Kale, but Kale's still doing well, keeping pace in CS, which is the entire purpose of the Kale. Just outrange it later on, but
Gory knocking out Empire there, and in the 1v2, actually turning it around. You have to respect the Shurima shuffle into tower.
the big thing is coming in with the ultimate, and then Gory just dashes to his tower, so it carries the Vi into the tower. That's the biggest problem that they would face. So that's why Kongren doesn't just immediately go for that ultimate. However, it lands them a second dragon, which is still great news for the side of the J team.
We got a Hex Tech Rift as well. That is going to be a game changer, Nightstar. J team getting themselves a second dragon and going to take advantage of the momentary push angle they have to send Shelly crashing in to get a few more plates off, and not bad.
Very good
Still
result
hasn't meant
there.
a gold advantage though.
It hasn't. But I think they are also very comfortable with where they are with this draft. So, especially when you start stacking those dragons, it takes away some of the air out of a Kale composition, because it takes away time to get that Kale to level 16. Oh yeah?
True.
Alright, we'll see if he can find a creative angle. Is spotted
the
on
wrap run,
that
they
control
know.
ward, which means no angle. Unless he wants to brute force us.
He might. At this point, it might be worth it. No, decides not. Who knows who's hiding in the lane? It would have been Burry. Burry's had a pretty quiet game, actually. We haven't really seen that much of him in the lanes.
Yeah, and you know, usually he's on the caretaker role. So that still remains true. At the same time, Burry
I think
does
that
need
rocket
to get
did less damage than Unified would have liked. It's not the same as the end of Season 1. Sorry if it's spoilers. You should have seen Arcane by now.
so true, so true.
It's been like 7 months. You've all had time.
If you haven't seen it by now, you weren't ever going to see it anyways, right? So spoilers doesn't matter. At that point.
Never say never, you know. But still.
I mean, it's
yeah.
like when someone mentions Endgame. Like, if you haven't seen it yet, you weren't going to see it in the near future anyway.
Yep. Hashtag Thanos kills Dumbledore.
You got me.
Sorry, wrong franchise. Anyways, it's like I said, it's so late, it's early over in North America, so things are gonna get a little weird. You're just gonna have to roll with it. But we have a banger of a game. I mean, it's a slow build, but this is a powder keg. J Team building up dragon advantages at this point. They are down 1,000 gold.
It's really just going to culminate at the next dragon. Because
Imperial
that would be
Mandate
third
swing, by the
dragon
way.
for PSG. They really want to secure it just to allow more time for the Kale. And for J Team, they're just trying to set up a pick. The Vi, you know, had that one all, had the second all.
Might have another. Okay, Vault Breaker and Unified does manage to get into the relative safety of Kaiwing's belly as they turn, interrupting Kongye for round 2, but he's just so tanky they can't quite get the kill. Here comes the rocket yet again. He's burning, and they can't quite take him down, but Bury actually going to get turned on route from Lil V as they managed to find the damage. There was another fight happening upriver between Gory and Uniboy, and that gets turned away. I can't believe it, but nobody dies.
And that was actually such a key factor up in that river area, that Gory was able to interrupt Uniboy from coming in because he burns the ultimate coming in from the Swain, which means Swain doesn't have the infinite sustain running into that bottom lane. He isn't able to combine forces with his heal and shielding duo down in that bot side, and now Hanabi actually gets himself this turret, gets to level 11. This is the sweet spot where you can start doing some things with the Kale, and getting that extra gold from the first brick is going to help out even more. 1 minute until Hextech Dragon. Can J-Team find the pick? This would be extremely helpful for them. They still have the ultimate up on the Vi, whereas Kaiwing doesn't have his.
It's PSG that we're fishing for an opportunity here on the map. J-Team, yeah, they are going to have to find some answers. I don't think they want to be catfishing, because at this point they're gonna pick the wrong target. You don't want to get Kaiwing on these ones. Hanabi is a big target. Gory is a big target. Unified's a big target. And as you mentioned with Hanabi, starting to hit pretty fast with that Wit's End. Easy peasy
for Hanabi, gets that first item. Going to be able to nullify a decent chunk of the damage coming in from J-Team. Kongye not exploiting the opening he had with the Salt and Battery differential cooldown with the Tom Kench Devour. And now Kaiwing has that ultimate back up.
Kaiwing able to deny as much as possible on his own timer. They will spot Kongye out in River. I don't think they saw Enzo, but they have to know he's probably around as well. Nothing to take here just yet. 5 seconds, though, is all it's going to be until the Hextech Dragon is on the map, and PSG don't want to give this one away. Teleport coming in for the Gwen, but they've already brought Hanabi to this party, and we're going to get ourselves a proper team fight.
This is Hex Dragon, so it is going to do a little bit of damage with the electricity. That's going to be also annoying to deal with, so you have to be decisive.
Kongye tanking. Dragon turns his attention, starts to reset back into the pit. Not fully. PSG unwilling to commit, but they will be able to find the final Uniboy looking for that one. He goes into stasis for just a second as they do send out the big ult from Enzo. Will it be enough to make this happen? Stay going! On Bury is isolated. Unified managed to get some kills, and it's a double for Bury before he falls. But now the Dragon does go down. It's absolute carnage as J-Team collapse. And a big set of double kills for Hanabi and Unified.
Oh, they get the kills, but the play was all set up by Gory hitting yet another fantastic Azir ultimate. This man on Azir in these team fight carries is just...
He's good.
Unbelievable. And this is why we also wanted to see Kale come into the draft for our better teams, because you hit that a level 11 fight where you can actually play the game, and the impact is tremendous. We're going to see the replay.
Because definitely Gory had a massive impact when he came up to pretty much looking like a flame flip on the fight, but immediately they turn on Uniboy, and for a
Gory,
second it looks good for
right here. This is where the fight turns. Boom!
Boom!
The flash,
shuffle,
3-man.
Everything changes when the Gory Nation attacks.
Gory comes in, hits the 3-man, and it's just game over. Even better is the fact that Bury is able to get the smite onto the Dragon, which stops the stacking. That's going to give them all the time in the world to figure out how they want to play the rest of the game.
Never mind Kale and Jinx. I think Azir just became the main character.
This is his time frame, though, right? Where he's on 1 and 2 items. That's his big power spike. Once you get to 3 items, that's where Jinx starts to take over. Once you get to 4 or 5, of course, that's when Hanabi is about level 16. So, you know, that's definitely where he takes over. So, again, each of these PSG carries are going to be rotating their time in the limelight.
And you were talking about the 3-item Jinx too, as well as earlier on the Grievous Wounds probably being a factor. Well, the Mortal Reminder does get built by Unified. He's never been a man to shy away from building whatever works best for the team. And Hits
Yeah,
level 11, so we'll have access to that better ultimate.
The Mortal Reminder, while may not be the most stat efficient item, I think in that fight where really the entire game pivots off of it, makes a lot of sense that he went ahead and completed it. Just to get as much power as he could into that one fight. It does mean that, you know, his next item spike isn't going to feel as good, but coming in on the flank, still a tower there, so this will be a very difficult play to actually execute. But JT,
it's going to be hard to gank Hanabi at this point. He's a Kale.
JT feel like, man, we just need to find a way to force a team fight, and because they don't have that soul pressure, it is going to be a tough ask.
Yeah, that's very true. So Hanabi's able to keep the side lane cleared away. Something PSG have always done pretty well is making sure that they have themselves covered on the map. I think one of the big talking points for the Spring Split was that they were the best team in the PCS at just understanding map control, and that carried them a lot of the way to victory. I think other teams, other squads, they have leveled up, so that advantage is not quite so unique anymore. That being said, PSG still very, very good at it. Enzo's going to be forced to stop his back in the middle of the lane. 21 minutes on the clock. It is a gold advantage. Pretty decent for PSG, and they have cut into the Drake stack. So J-Team, while they still have time, they still will be able to take 5v5s. That window is less open than it used to be. It's starting to slow a little, and they really need to get more value out of this Kongye pick.
This was the last pick Vi taken when there was a Tahm Kench. It was first pick Tahm Kench, remember? So it's not like they were being really sneaky about it. And while they were able to exploit the level 5 from Tahm Kench, haven't been able to do anything afterwards. So Vi is in a very tough position. That being said, we do have the Rylai's completed by the Swain, so his team fight power coming back a little bit in that regard. If he's able to get onto the back line, he's going to be able to just constantly stick onto him, and perhaps that will force Gory to use a defensive Azir ult, which would allow them to play the rest of the fight relatively straightforward afterwards for JT.
That's true. Driver also has Nashor's Tooth complete too, so it's not like J-Team are hurting for stats. Unfortunately, what they don't have at the moment is priority over the Dragon Pit, and less than 10 seconds before another Hextech spawns. PSG looking in a much better position to take this, and I think J-Team need to focus the fight. They need to find Unified or find Gory, but there's a lot of denial that can come through, and they need to be able to set up for a play. It's a good Flame Chompers into the choke. Here comes Driver on the front side. They don't even wait for the Dragon to be procced before they go for it. As Driver goes in, Driver goes out. Uniboy looking for more here, but he's going to get taken oh so low. Has the sustain to follow through. Bury also able to stop, and that is going to be the shuffle denied. They've had the opportunity here to turn the fight. They've separated Gory from the pack as Driver takes him down. Kongye looking to lock up the fight, but does not get it. 2 kills for 1. J-Team will be able to take Dragon away. No smite either side.
That's going to be a big win, but can they secure? They are going to bring in the teleport from Driver. It's just going to be...
Time's not long enough for that one.
Yeah, sometimes that is how it is. But big win coming in for J-Team, being able to snag that one up. And we'll see the replay. And it starts out, you know, it's pretty solid given the fact that they are able to burst down Uniboy to the point that he has to back out of the fight. He's able to constantly push forward. And the flash from Driver really shifts this fight because the Gory now out of position. The Seraphine ult just hits across 4. And that feels like it's game over. So, well done from JT.
Goes in like fully expecting to die and knows that he just needs to lock somebody up for a couple of seconds. It's unfortunate that that's kind of his job right now, but he did it very well. And J-Team get the better trade, they get the Dragon, and now they're on Soul Point. So this is the threat that PSG will be under. Despite the gold lead, despite the tempo advantages that they've been able to flex a little bit, J-Team have been able to tangle with them, looking to protect that perfect record they've got so far here in the Summer Split. And there's still some fight in this squad. PSG are going to need to get to the late game.
You know, Hanabi about to be level 60.
Oh boy.
This is a scary moment.
This is a Hanabi revenge game. We were talking him down, saying he was the exploitable weak link, and he's like, "Oh yeah, how about this? I want to be the first one to win with Kale."
And out on
Look at
3
that farm,
items.
man. He just like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He just attacks
Over
for days,
10
just so fast.
Yeah, over 10. That's usually the mark, and he's over that mark, so he is extremely ahead of the curve. Has completed 3 items, has a bunch of attack speed, has also the shield coming in from the shield buff, keep him even more healthy. So a lot of safety in the build.
If he needs it.
And you also have Kale out, you also have Tom Kenchall. Like, you're at that point where even if the Tom Kenchall does get used before the Vi ult comes in, and Vi all of a sudden thinks that, hey, there's an opening. Well, no, because Kale ult is also a thing, and you just
It's one of these compositions that, like, I think you used to see stuff like this back before the Tom Kench rework, and it was just like, this is an anti-assassin build. You can't kill anyone because we will just deny them over and over again. It starts to feel a little bit more like that, even with the Tom Kench changes, whereas Devour's...
This is the safest Kale build in the history of Kale builds. Look, it's
oh my
even
goodness,
a QSS.
QSS. Wow, all right. He
That is
just
wild.
really never wants to be locked down. I
Right.
respect it.
Yeah,
He's so far ahead too, though. I mean, yeah, why not, right? Like you're literally a full item ahead of the Gwen. Go for it.
I would have expected something like the Hex Drinker here, given how much magic damage is coming through. Also gives you a little bit of sustain, but certainly the QSS is also good against something like the lockdown coming in from the Senna, if it ever lands onto you, or just the ult encore from Enzo.
It's true. There's a lot of things you can deny, a lot of CC that J-Team are going to try and throw out your way. For PSG, it's been all about keeping the vision clear on this side of the Baron pit. Remember, the Dragon is still going to be a very real possibility, but not for another minute and a half. And that does mean that if PSG can set up a pick or set up a blind angle, maybe they can try to rush this down. It's a pretty fast Baron take for the team. They got a lot of attack speed between their carries.
Definitely plenty of damage on the side of PSG. They do that objective in a jiffy. And right now it feels like J-Team have missed their window of opportunity. As even though Uniboy is still relatively strong, is missing level 16.
Goodness.
That's a key thing.
This is so fast right now. I don't think they're
Speedy,
going to be able to get there in time for the steal. Kaiwing may die. Nope, he gets out.
Not even close.
Scot-free. Now they're going to have to race it for the Dragon. PSG still has to contend on this. They do have empowered recalls to try and get back into the fight, and J-Team realize they have a very small window of opportunity to try and force the issue, secure the soul. It's still 30 seconds away, though, so unfortunately they can't grab it.
This is so hard. You need a pick, but with Baron, you can just get mid lane priority.
Oh no, the flank.
Oh,
Rory's here. He's a collapse on, and he goes in.
Okay, that's fine.
Doesn't get punished, forces a flash at a little V. That's value right there. Dragon's up in 5 seconds. Calling you over the wall.
Fight lines reset.
Driver isolated. This is good. PSG, they muscle in.
Still a lot of sustain. They're still all full health.
All right, they're facing each other down. We got a good old standoff here at the Dragon Pit. This one's for Soul. PSG cannot back down.
This is pretty much for the game. Movie takes some poke, and Hanabi just says, okay.
Watch the Hanabi wraparound. Driver goes in,
wrap.
trying to get for the opportunity here. They got Bury buying some time for the team as Uniboy looks for the kill, but Kaiwing
Hanabi
swallows up his carry. Hanabi finding Driver on the other side. They do take down the Swain. Uniboy out of the fight does mean it's a big numbers advantage, and they just pick J-Team apart. This is gonna be it. PSG will take down J-Team for the win and tie themselves up for first place. Nice, cool, calm, and collected.
30 minutes. The death timers are going to be pretty long. And
I think they've got this, Night Star.
Yeah, I think so too. You've got 3 high damage carries auto attacking that tower. It's not going to last for long. And we'll see the replay on the fight afterwards. But PSG put themselves back on top, baby.
Yeah, I think after the Beyond Gaming loss, we were wondering, all right, is this